Guys, welcome back. Have a look at this guy. Have a look at this guy on the wrist. This is the MING LW01, the lightweight that you might remember was launched a few years ago. And to say I've been pestering the team at MING to get a chance to get hands-on with it would be an understatement. Thank you very, very much, guys, for joining me as always. And today I'm just going to touch on a few thoughts that I've had wearing this in the last week or two. So let's get in there. To say that I've been pestering the team at MING to allow me a chance to spend some time with this, the LW01, the lightweight, would be an understatement. So thank you so much for the team entrusting me with this fella for a little bit of time. And thank you guys for joining me as always. Today I'm just going to share a few thoughts on this, the possibly, that's official, that is possibly the lightest watch in the world right now. When I saw this watch launch, it was, and this is my barometer for any purchase that happens right now. And hear me out. It's full bore, full energy. Hell yeah, absolutely need to do this. Whatever it takes to do this, I need to do it. And when I saw this drop a couple of years back now, it was absolutely that. To the point where I reached out and afterwards felt bad because I couldn't muster the cash, which I believe is still 19,500 CHF Swiss francs. For the retail 200-piece limited edition, I believe was available and is available still, one or two slots I gather, in both the hand-wound caliber, which I have here, ETA based, and then also an automatic version. And I have had so much fun using this, wearing this, enjoying this for the last week. I just thought it'd be remiss to send it back and not have a little video on it. Look at it on the wrist there. I mean, to start with, this is my favorite MING, period. Without a shadow of a doubt, my favorite MING. What MING and the team have been able to do within the brand in a fairly short period of time is come up with a design ethos, a DNA, an aesthetic that is absolutely and unmistakably theirs, which I think is one of the hardest things in the watch world. And let's be clear, you know, if we consider the big boys, the Vacherons of the world, the Langers of the world, the Pateks of the world, they haven't necessarily actually, they've got a huge lineage, don't get me wrong, but they actually haven't got a very singular design aesthetic that runs through all the product. Whereas MING does, obviously Journe does now, I think it's fair to say have that as well. And you look at the likes of Ressence, I think of MING in a similar breath to the likes of Ressence, because there's just this really rigid, straightforward, easy to understand, easily digestible aesthetic from across the room. And just to be clear, this model is my absolute favorite from the whole MING lineup. It couldn't be more simple. It is stripped back to its purest form, but yet so complicated. And as they say, the old adage is the more complicated things are, the harder they are to produce. This is that. But look at it on the wrist. I would say stealthy. I would say sporty. I would say something from another universe. It reminds me, and I don't know if there are any other fans out there, of Stargate SG-1. That was a TV show that I used to love when I was a kid. The first thing you notice is when you handle it, it's just remarkable. Absolutely remarkable thing in the hand. And I shouldn't do it, but I have to. The only way to convey just how thin it is to show you how easily it is to move around. It is just like nothing on the wrist. It's just like, it is a second skin. This wonderful Jean Rousseau collaborative strap is fantastic. Sort of an Alcantara with a red underlining. Beautiful on the wrist, really supple, really smooth. The winding of the case is wonderful for something so small and thin, really satisfying. There's a sort of a pulsation star that emanates, waxes and wanes in some way in the center of the dial, which showcases that the watch is in fact working and is what is powered. Because there's no other way to know it with no running seconds. There's an hours and a minutes hand. There is no dial as such. It's just frosting on the central dial, which gives depth and intrigue and allows that star to live. The logo at 12 o'clock. And then at 6 o'clock as well, it's just printing on the crystal itself. I absolutely love it. I really, really do. The buckle is same to the touch as the cases. and it's just unlike anything else available in the watch world right now. So the manual version weighs 8.8 grams and the automatic weighs 10.8 grams with the head alone, with the watch ready to wear at sort of 10.6 grams and 12.6 grams, including the strap and buckle, which is just bonkers. There's a sort of a potent mix of exotic materials and engineering going on here. The case is made of AZ31, an alloy of magnesium, aluminium, zinc, and manganese, chosen because it retains the sort of texture and thermal transfer of metal, while cutting weight 3D printing and carbon fiber were considered, I gather, but rejected on a technical and aesthetic ground. The crystal uses Gorilla Glass instead of sapphire, and it's sort of notably less dense. And even the screws are made of a lightweight PEEK plastic, which is super interesting. The case construction is dial and case band setup, so it fuses a hat-shaped dial ring and a movement holder supported from the rear by a 3D shruttered cage, which is really interesting. It's got no traditional dial. The movement's hidden behind a gradient print on the crystal itself. The case dimensions 38 millimeters by just 6.5 millimeters. And it is an ETA base, as I say, it's a ETA 2000 base, supervised by Schwartz Ettinger, with a 36-hour power reserve. It beats at 4 hertz, and the price is, as I say, a 19,500 CHF. And you look at the competition, and this is where it gets really interesting. The RM2701 is 19 grams, but priced at sort of in the 7-figure range, as you'd imagine from Richard Mille. The Mont Blanc Time Walker Pathagore ultralight concept was 14.9 grams. And then there's the Remnant ultralight, which is 17 grams, produced in small quantities. So, look, for a watch that's coming in at 19.5, it feels like a relative bargain in comparison maybe to some of the others, but there is nothing that's comparable to this. I happen to just love the aesthetic of it, and I've loved wearing it just from a personal perspective. I've just so enjoyed wearing this thing out and about. People don't know what to say when they see it. It's just like, what on earth is that? I'm not fussed about the base caliber, although I can appreciate the engineering challenge that the Ming faced to get it up and running. But I'm absolutely squared away focused on the wearability and the joy of wearing it, and how, again, this is unique design, unlike anything else, proprietary design, and in a world of sort of copy and paste and the same thing over and again, and sort of looking back at the whole time. And this just feels so refreshing. And I'm exhibiting right now my only downside to the watch, my negative point for the watch, which is this. And I can see why it's been designed like this, but the idea that the strap has to be pushed back under is frustrating. And I might be doing it entirely wrong, just to be clear, but pushing that back under there, I might well be doing it entirely wrong. But that's what I'm taking from this as my only negative. That said, once it's on, it's absolutely amazing. But it's a bit of a ball ache to get it on. But just look at it there on the wrist. I mean, you can make up your own mind as to what you think of it on the wrist. But I just think that's found itself a space, a niche in the market that's just not occupied by anyone else. And the team are just the most bonkers sort of engineers. The loom on the hands is fantastic, by the way, at night. I'll try and get a shot of that just to share on here as well. But it's just wonderful. It feels like the thing's alive. Look at it waxing and waning the star in the middle. It is just like this thing's living. It's like from another planet on the wrist. And I love independent watchmaking. I love the entrepreneurial spark, the effort, the commitment, the blood, sweat and tears to build a brand. But sometimes things can get a bit wild, a bit too far for me aesthetically, whereas this stays within the parameters of what you would know and understand of a wristwatch, but yet has taken on the challenge of the technical, material and aesthetic, bringing it all together in a really wearable package. And that's what I think is super interesting about this. Genuinely, I'm leaving the review process wanting to consider how to buy one. Truthfully, and I mean that hand on heart, because I've enjoyed wearing it so much. look at the buckle. They've even considered the buckle, which looks like the sort of wing of an aircraft, the sort of fuselage, the shape of a wing. It is just fantastic. But let me know your thoughts, guys. I'd be super interested to know what you think, because it's a bit of an outlier out there. I can't think of any competitors in the price segment. So let me know again if there's someone that comes to mind that I have to include in this in the bio below. But thanks as always for joining, and catch you around soon. Cheers. Go well.